The news day continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. Net inflows of foreign direct investments dropped in April. Net FDI inflow dipped to $876 million in April, about 14% lower than the over $1 billion in the same month in 2022. Month on month, though, the FDI inflow surged by nearly 60% from the $548 million in March. The Bangko Sentral attributes a decline in FDI to concerns over slowing economic growth and relatively high global inflation levels. Meanwhile, one expert said that month-on-month FDI increase in April can be traced to the trust and confidence that investors have shown towards the improving macroeconomic environment. Despite the annual decline, April saw the highest monthly FDI net inflow in 2 months. BSP expects a $9 billion FDI net inflow by year-end. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel calls on President Bongbong Marcos to address the water shortage in his upcoming State of the Nation address. Pimentel emphasized the urgent need to address the water crisis as well as the impact of the El Niño phenomenon, especially on agriculture. Pimentel says past droughts and water crisis have taken a toll on the economy and public health. Meanwhile, Maynilad customers are bracing for water interruptions starting this week. This as water allocation for concessionaires has been cut to 48 cubic meters per second after water at Angat Dam hit the critical level. Several barangays in Quezon City, Manila, Caloocan, Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela will be experiencing water interruptions from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. For those living far away from service areas, service interruptions could last for another 2 hours. Maynilad still can't say how long the interruptions will last, but in their defense, it will not be as bad as the 14 to 16-hour water interruptions back in April.
And hopefully, ito pong gagawin nating interruption ay mas mapaiksi pa natin sa actual implementation. Talaga ang iniiwasan namin mangyari na mayroong single customer na 24 hours siyang walang tubig.
Senator Grace Poe earlier asked the MWSS to take action against Maynilad over water service interruptions brought about by lower allocation. For Poe, it was unacceptable for over 500,000 customers to be hit by longer service interruptions. Here to join us for a discussion on the impending water interruptions, we have with us on the show MWSS spokesperson Patrick Dizon. He's joining us live via Zoom. Good morning, Patrick.
Hi, good morning, Diego, at sa lahat po nakikinig po ng inyong programa.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and let's get right to it. I'm sure siguro you heard the statement of Senator Grace Poe that MWSS should take action regarding this matter, and you should not take it down sitting down. Ano po ang reaction natin sa comment na ito?
Yeah, actually, Diego, we already we are now drafting yung response po natin dito sa statement po ni Senator Poe, and hopefully we can send it within the day. So basically, the highlights of our response will be on this based from this statement on the interruption of Maynilad. So please bear in mind that the interruption that was happening right now was due to the reduction of the allocation from the Angat Dam from 50 cubic meter per second to 48 cubic meter per second. So based from our instruction naman to our concessionaires, specifically to Maynilad, since Manila Water doesn't have any interruption, even we have we have on the reduction of the location. So we stated, we instructed rather the Maynilad that they will have to have 9 to maximum of 9 to 11 hours of interruption only. So that's basically lesser from the interruption that was experienced by 1.5 million customers on April, na naging 14 hours pa yung interruption po nila.
Yes.
So right now, based from our instruction to Maynila, binaba na po nila yung magiging interruption or affected na customers into 591 na lang.
Yes, pero based on your correspondence with concessionaires about these issues regarding the allocation, the lack of allocation thereof, are they adhering to their obligations based on what is required for their franchise?
Yeah, actually, right now, Jego, no? So we have this implementing rules and regulation on for the imposition of the fines and penalties for the failure of the concessionaires to meet their service obligation. So under the revised concession agreement, kasi they need to have supply water 24 hours, and 7 psi or 16 psi of pressure. So based from that, since we receive a lot of complaints from the social media, we need to act on this one. So that's why, based from this IRR, if someone reported na mayroon mga inconvenience sa kanilang lugar, so they need to resolve it, within 15 days after they will receive this notice of violation from the regulatory office. So if not found non-complying, dito sa kanilang aming agreement with them, they will be fined and penalties accordingly.
Okay, and a question has been asked by a columnist na why is La Mesa exclusive daw to Manila Water and hindi nagsishare with Maynilad?
Actually, that's not true po, no? Kasi po meron po tayo based from the franchise law. So yeah, it's correct. It's La Mesa was granted the Manila Water to manage yung La Mesa Dam.
Okay.
However, all of the construction and maintenance work shall be approved by the MWSS, and any extraction on the La Mesa Dam, we have this raw water sharing protocol kasi between the MWSS, Maynilad, and Manila Water. So basically, that's what we are doing right now. So it's being shared naman po with Maynilad if there's a situation like emergencies like this water shortage po.
Yes, and then given it's El Nino and we're going to have problems with water supplies, what programs do you have now in place, short-term, mid-term, long-term, to address these water supply issues?
Yeah, that's correct, Diego, that we have these water security pillars that include the short, medium to long-term water sources programs po natin. So these programs or projects will bridge the gap between the supply and demand. Kasi when we projected, we really need an additional water sources. That's why we implemented short to medium term to long-term water sources, since 90% of our water, we are getting it from Dangat Dam. So we wanted to duplicate the capacity of Dangat Dam to lessen yung 90% dependencies natin sa Dangat Dam. That's why we are implementing this Wawa Dam project in Rizal and the Kaliwa Dam project in Quezon Province. So the Kaliwa Dam project, that's the new Centennial Water Source project, composed of two phases. The phase 1 is the Kaliwa, which is around 600 million liters per day, and the Kanan, which is 3,000 million liters per day. So that's almost the same capacity po nung ating Angat Dam. So right now, we're implementing yung mga short projects like catching yung mga or treating the water from the rivers na nasa Metro Manila right now, like the rivers in Cavite and even Marikina River, we are now treating it. And aside from that, Laguna Lake, we're also getting water from the Laguna Lake right now.
Yeah, thank you for all your insights, sir. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. But we hope to talk to you soon. Thank you very much for joining us again, MWSS spokesperson Patrick Dizon.
Thank you. Good morning.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Philippine Economic Zone Authority has approved nearly 80.6 billion pesos worth of investment in the first 6 months of 2023. The latest figure is more than double the approvals in the same period in the previous year. In June alone, PESA approved 22 projects worth 32.56 billion pesos. These projects are estimated to generate almost $482 million worth of exports and create 3,475 jobs. PESA says it is optimistic that it would sustain its positive growth trajectory for the second half of the year, thanks to a more aggressive whole-of-government approach in investment promotion. In other news, cheaper well-milled rice is now available in select stores in Metro Manila. The rice is priced at 38 pesos per kilogram. This is an initiative by the Philippine Rice Stakeholders Movement or PRISM amid the rising prices of rice. Various stakeholders such as traders and millers are reportedly shouldering the expenses for logistics and retailer markups. The 38 peso per kilo rice can also be purchased at Kadiwa stores. However, customers are limited to a maximum of 5 kilos to prevent hoarding. Heads up, motorists! Oil companies are implementing mixed adjustments on fuel prices this week. Effective today, July 11, gasoline prices are seeing a small rollback of 20 centavos per liter. On the other hand, diesel prices climbed by 75 centavos per liter, while kerosene is pricier by half a peso per liter. The Oil Industry Management Bureau says the adjustments in fuel prices are due to an increase in demand in America, as well as oil cuts announced by OPEC. Higher interest rates abroad have also affected prices in the oil market. And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.